The politics of being loyal to a specific individual are very much coming to an end in Kenya. And we are beginning to have a conversation of huyu mtu mwenye mnasema ni wetu ama kama si wetu, what are his ideologies? What is the vision that he has for this nation? What is the vision that he has for this constituency, for example, or this county? That is where we are getting to as Kenyans. Because it is this politics of being loyal to a person that has brought us to the mess that we are in this nation. That is the reason why a whole entire parliament of very learned individuals will sit down and pass a bill that does not make sense. Pass a policy that does not benefit Kenyans. It benefits very few individuals in this nation. It is because of that loyalty to a person. But once we begin to have a conversation of what are his ideologies, what does he believe in? Does he believe in the idea of communism, for example, capitalism? What idea does he has for us as a nation to come out of the debt crisis that we are in? And you see, even in the future, we shall very easily be able to call out now leaders whom we have elected. Right now, there are people who are folding their hands. They cannot say anything because mtu wao amemesnchi vibaya sana. But when we stop being loyal to individuals and start being loyal to the vision that they have, the ideologies that they possess, and their ability to solve problems in this society, then once they get up, then begin to appear as if ni kama wanavia from it, it will be very easy for us to call them out and say, hey, we elected you because of this, but now whatever you are doing, we don't agree with it. And that is how we shall be able to advance as a nation.
My people, look at the kind of life people live in this country today. It's 2025, 61 years of independence, and people still go through such things today. Now, what's weird is the fact that we tell these people to be proud of what they're doing. Najivunia kazi yangu. But in reality, we would never want our children to do such jobs. Let's be honest. None of us wants their child to do these things. This is hard life, and these people should be working in factories and such things. But let's be honest, we have failed to create opportunities for our people. We are very busy wasting time talking about very pathetic politics that involves nothing but tribalism and corruption. We waste a lot of time on this nonsense. Oh, mara kura ya Wakamba, mara Murima, mara what, mara alliance, mara muungano, mara sijui what. This is just bullshit. Coalitions, sijui what. They are just the same people rebranding. Today they are friends, tomorrow they are enemies, and people live like this. For Christ's sake, we need to change the way we think. My people, I will say this again. We need to change the way we think. Our politicians have consistently proven to us for decades that they are not interested in solving our problems. So please allow me to give you two choices. You can continue wasting your time on these alliances and defecting and political parties and all that rubbish, or you can try to change the way you think and try to make your country better. I recommend you take the second choice. Because unfortunately, if you don't change the way you think, your children will inherit your poverty and suffering. I call that failure. Your politicians drive big cars, live in big houses in Karen and Lavington and what have you, and yet you call them mtu wetu with your boda boda, and then you fuel 50 shillings in your boda boda. Are you serious? Please allow me to tell you this. No one is coming to fix you. I repeat, no one is coming. Hii shida muko nayo ni nyinyi wenyewe mutajitoa. Not Jesus, not Muhammad. If Jesus or Muhammad were to fix you, they would have done that long time ago. They haven't. So you need to find solutions to your problems. Stop wasting your time and stop engaging in this pathetic Kenyan politics that involves nothing but corruption and tribalism. That's it.
One of the issues affecting our economy is the odious debt taken during the Jubilee regime. And if you go through the debts taken through the Jubilee regime from the financial year 2013-2014 to the financial year 2022-2023, you realize that the Jubilee government collected revenue which is of 13.5 trillion Kenyan shillings. And then within the same period of time, the Jubilee government spent 14.7 trillion Kenyan shillings. So meaning our Kenyan government during that time had a deficit of 1.2 trillion Kenyan shillings. So meaning if we had to borrow, we were to borrow just 1.2 trillion Kenyan shillings. But how much did the Ruto borrow during the entire regime? You get up to 6.5 trillion Kenyan shillings was lost through the hands of both Uhuru and Ruto. And now, how is this affecting our economy? When we have this kind of debt, the biggest issue is that we will have to increase our VAT. That's why right now we have our VAT at 16%. So meaning the cost of basic commodities iko juu, gharama ya maisha is unbearable. And so how can we solve these issues? And another thing is the domestic borrowing by the government. When the government borrow domestically, it affects the availability of money in banks. So meaning because banks trust governments because the risk is low,
The ability to pay.
yeah, they will have to give the government the first priority, and they give the government takes the loan at high interest at almost 13%. So meaning government takes almost all our saving in the banks, and when we come to borrow this money for us to start our businesses, there will be no money, and that's why we want to discourage domestic borrowing. Another issue is the VAT, which is at 16%, and according to my view, I think we should reduce the VAT from 16% to 5%. We have issues, education. You know, the other day we saw the CS for Treasury, John Mbadi, saying that they cannot afford to offer free education, while the Auditor General told us that 1.3 trillion was withdrawn manually from the Treasury, and Mbadi was the minister, and they cannot account for that money, and they will come and tell us they don't have money. It's the arrogance of power. And so how can we do to solve these issues? What we have to do is to make sure that the next time we elect, it's not just about one term, it's about policies. So if you look at your presidential candidate wako, aim yake ni gani? Okay, for me, I could go with Jimmy Wanjigi and Safina party, because Safina party reflects the possibility that Kenya can rise above divisions, above dysfunctions. Because if you look at the agenda of Safina party, is we are not going to pay odious debt, and apart from that, we will bring up legislation to bear government from borrowing internally. So meaning there will be money available for the business people to take to start up businesses. Another thing is reducing the VAT from 16% to 5%. So I want to tell our people that if we want liberation, the party is Safina. And Safina, kama wakati wa Mungu aliambia jenga Safina, akaambia watu wakakataa, but sisi tumejenga Safina, and we want to tell you, join Safina. We know the rain is coming. Mvua itakuja ya ukabila, mvua itakuja ya empowerment ya 64 shillings, mvua itakuja ya mambo mengi hapo, handouts, but ya affordable housing. Actually, affordable housing is built on public land using public funds, but unauziwa 1.9. If that's not theft, what is it? Ukikuja mambo ya Talanta Stadium, if it's Talanta Stadium, ukiangalia actual cost, it's 44.8 billion, but at the end of the day, it's a loan. We will pay for 144 billion for constructing just one stadium. Who is this person making such kind of a decision? And you saw the other day the UDA Secretary General Omar Hassan saying that they will take loans and build the other side of Kenya, and our children will pay. So these people, they don't care about us. And so I want to say Jimmy for president, because he's the guy who understands the economy, and we will bring police reforms. That's one of our policies as Safina party, that we will, the OCPD position will be elective. So meaning the people of a particular area will elect their OCPD. So that's my remarks. Karibu kwa bunge la mwananchi kikao 045.
Mr. President, let's be honest. You're the only one still bringing up tribalism like it's 1990. We're not fighting over tribes. We're struggling with joblessness, high taxes, police violence, and broken promises. Every time we speak up, you throw in tribal lines hoping we'll look the other way. But guess what? We won't. We're Gen Z. We've got receipts, internet, and zero chill for bad leadership. We don't care what tribe you're from. If you're not serving the people, we'll say it loud. Stop using tribalism to cover failure. It's tired. It's weak. Fix the economy. Protect our freedoms. Respect the people. We've moved on. Maybe it's time you did too.
Would such a shift risk undermining democratic institutions, do you think?
My argument is this. You undermine democratic institutions when you start circumventing the provisions of the Constitution. Because what the other side is propagating is that let us conduct elections after the 5th year. Let's conduct the elections in the 6th year without any legal foundation. So today we say we are accepting 6th year. Tomorrow you'll have a dictator worse than William Ruto and says, no, since you didn't conduct in the 5th year, conduct it in the 7th year. Another one will come up and say, no, since we are now doing it outside the Constitution, there is no red line where to stop.
Right.
You are better off adhering to the black and white letter of the law, because that is predictable, as opposed to leaving it to whims. Because when you leave it to whims, today you may say you are putting pressure on 27.
Wow.
Umevuka kwa mwendo wa aste aste
Na meenda.
na kuunga mjadala unaosema.
Honestly, you know how it got me?
Yeah.
Because of that.
Of the
that thing
fast
of that thing of where you give people an inch and they take a mile. It is my life's mantra not to give the inch so
Yeah,
they
so
don't
that they
take the
don't take the
mile.
mile. So what happens now? Okay, Maria.
Safina Party is all about the economy. It is the economy, stupid. And those who will see that it is the economy will join Safina Party. And there are many people who have expressed interest to even contest for positions on Safina Party tickets. At the right time, we are also going to unveil our machine. The engine is been turned on. Safina is coming. You know, a ship comes slowly and gently. You may think you are seeing a small speck somewhere at the back. Before you know it, you see a massive ship. That is Safina. Safina Party, the economy.
So the act is hanging.
The act is coming. There are many Kenyans who are joining Safina Party in drafts, and I urge anybody who wishes to join Safina Party, star 509 hash. Our party code is 034. Safina Party, the vessel for economic emancipation of our people. It's not about legacy politicians, it's about the people. And giving power to the hands of the people. That is what Safina Party stands for. And for the first time since independence, let's have an opportunity for our politics to be about the people and giving power to the people, not retaining power in the hands of legacy politicians. And we've always said 2 key components that we'll work on. On the economy, we are very clear, no odious debt. What that means is free education, from primary to tertiary, free healthcare. We are going to reduce VAT, 16% VAT, we are going to do away with it. And we are also going to give people an opportunity to get access to credit. The money that is held by banks, government should not borrow that money. That money should be available to Kenyans to borrow.
Okay.
And what that means is this. Interest rates will fall to even 3%. You borrow 1 million, your repayment is only 30,000 in terms of interest.
Okay.
In a year. You borrowed 1 million, you are paying interest of only 30,000. What can't you do? And OCPDs must be elected by the people. It's time the people take control of their security by electing the above. Orders from above will never come from Nairobi. The above will be the people. That is Safina. Anybody who believes in that, welcome to the ark.
Well, we wish you all the best. You said it's 18th of September.
Yes.
Ruto simpigi kura. Amenajisi inchi. Bila kutumia hata kondom.
This is Selector DJ.
Wanadhani ya si bongo lala, ikikupita we bongo lala. Na walosema jana iwezi fika leo, tuko ground tunazoza. Hatujikuku mewaka sana, na mabisto na chafua rada. Na walosema jana iwezi fika leo, tuko ground tunazoza. Hakuna mboka, peleke shuleni watasoma. Madaktari wamegoma, hapa sani Yesu atatuponya. Wambie punde imechoka sana, farasi bado ijapatikana. Ni mandai wanagonya na mali wanaponda, unakonda wananona. Maandamano, 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 amise maandamano, maandamano.